Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well. In this video I'm going to be talking about the transit of Mercury into Taurus, and this transit started on April 3rd and it will be in this sign until June 11th of this year. So what does this mean for us? Well, Mercury is a sign of communication, learning, rational and logical thinking, and the mind. And Taurus is a grounded sign that is related to materialism, ownership, and experiences life through the senses, and could say also a stubborn sign. So when this planet is in Taurus, this could mean that we are thinking about our finances or investments. That could be something that this time could bring up for all of us, is that we could be thinking a lot more about our finances. And this will happen through Mercury retrograde, which is coming up. So it might be a good time to reflect on your finances or your investments or that kind of thing, your resources. Yes, and also Mercury being a sign of learning, this could be a good time to learn about money or investing, and Taurus being a sign that experiences life through the senses. Food is one of the things that Taurus is associated with. So learning how to maybe cook some of your favorite dishes or learning more about cooking, this would be a good time for that too. Yeah, and this is also Taurus being a very grounded sign. This is a good time for grounded communication. So if you have any difficult things that you have to talk about with people, I think this would be a good time to talk about it, because the communication will have a grounded aspect to it. And usually Mercury retrograde affects communication quite a bit. So this might actually be a good thing, since Mercury will be in Taurus at this time while it is retrograde. So this might actually help the communication during this time. Having grounded conversations, if you have to talk about difficult subjects that will usually excite a lot of emotions, maybe this is a good time to communicate those kind of things with whoever you need to speak to them about. So that's one good thing about this transit. Yeah, and the shadow aspect, or some of the shadow aspects of this transit, is stubborn communication. And Taurus is a stubborn sign, so you can expect to maybe not see the other person's side of the story, or being stubborn in your own way of thinking and being kind of just one-track thinking. So watch out for that if you find yourself having a very difficult time seeing someone else's point of view, or unwilling to have a new way of thinking. I think that would be one of the shadow aspects of this transit. Oh yes, and since it's kind of related to finances, Taurus being kind of related to that, and investments and stuff like that, I think this is a good time to really think about what you're spending your money on. Make sure it's a wise investment that you're investing in, or you're thinking about investing in. With Mercury being in retrograde, maybe this is a good time for reflection, maybe doing research rather than having put your money into something, unless you know it's a sure thing and you feel good about it. Make sure you're spending money on the right things, and you're not overspending, or you're not making purchases that you'll regret later. So that's some of the things to think about during this time. So I'm going to be pulling some cards now, like I always do, to see what guidance we can get from the cards for this transit. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to be using the Angel Tarot deck by Riley Valentine, and I'm going to see what the universe wants us to know for this transit. So what are some things that we should know that will help guide us through this Mercury and Taurus transit? What are some of the things that will help us in this transit as a collective? What are some insights that we should know to help us navigate through this transit? let's see what we have here. Okay, so cards came out. I have 2 cards here, and we'll see what they say. So the first one here is the King of Water, and it says, trustworthy, compassionate, respective, cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. Charity work. So I'll let you look at the card for a little bit. So this is related to the King of Cups in the original tarot. So what this means to me, like I said, open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. So this kind of relates to grounded communication. So listening to what people have to say around you, having those deep talks, having the kind of difficult conversations, but they might not be so difficult at this time because it's coming from a grounded place. Your mind is going to be not overflowing with with ideas and emotions and stuff like that, as opposed to maybe a fire or earth, a fire or air sign. But this is an earth sign, so talking about grounded communication, trustworthy and heartfelt advice. So, like I said, this kind of relates to finances. Make sure you're spending your money in the right things. Make sure your investments are in the right places. Before you make any decisions like that, make sure you have some good advice to go back on and really make good, solid purchases. This is a good time for that because Taurus is about, relates to materialism and money, and that's not a bad thing. It's just, it's a very earthy sign. It's about the real world. So when you're making investments, when you're making financial decisions or purchases even, or big purchases, make sure you have trustworthy and heartfelt advice, and make sure to heed this advice to avoid maybe to avoid regretting what you buy or invest in. And charity work, so that's an interesting one. What could that be related to? Charity work and Mercury and Taurus. Well, I suppose volunteering your time would be it'd be good to do that during this time. Maybe cook something for someone else, maybe do something like that, maybe donate some of the stuff you have, maybe donate some money that you have to a good cause, donate your time, that's also a resource. So I think that would be a good thing to do during this time as well. So let's see what the second card has to say. 10 of Earth. A very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things of life, in life. So I'll let you look at that card. That's a really nice card to get. It relates to the 10 of Pentacles in the tarot. And that's all about being really good, in a good place with your family, financial security, stuff like that. So yeah, and that's literally one of the things it says, financial security. So yeah, this is a good time to talk about things in your family that maybe you've been avoiding that will help heal some things that have happened in the past, maybe. Financial security. So yeah, I think this is a good time to review your finances, review your investments, and see what's going on with that. See if maybe taking your money out, putting your money somewhere else, thinking about long-term stuff. I think that's a good thing to think about during this time. And finding magic in the little things of life. Well, that's a good thing to do. So yeah, and one of the other things that I forgot to mention maybe is that Mercury being in Taurus, maybe go into nature and you'll have a better way of thinking. You'll have clearer thoughts. That I often feel that way when I go into nature, that I feel a lot better and my thoughts are a lot clearer. And maybe that's what we need to think of, or just clear our mind. Maybe that would be a good way if you get caught up in your thoughts. Maybe spending some time in nature will help clear your mind, and whatever things that is heavy on your mind, maybe just go into nature, go near water. We have the king of water here and the king of earth and the 10 of earth. So, be near water, be near nature. That'll help clear your mind and help you to stay grounded. And usually in nature, you definitely find magic in the little things, the birds, the trees, the insects. There's so many things that you can find magic in nature. So yeah, I think those are the two things we can think about. So I would suggest having those conversations that maybe you've been avoiding, because Taurus, being a very grounded sign, will help everyone have these conversations while being in a grounded place of mind. Review your finances, think about your finances, maybe make some plans, make sure you have trusted advice for this time. Make sure you get good advice for your investments, your purchases. Make sure you make good purchases, not purchases you're gonna regret. And maybe this is a time to have those conversations with your family or your friends or whoever you call family, in order to have that healing, so you can, have those happy moments with the people that you love. And so here are the cards again: King of Earth, King of Water. So maybe being near water would be a good idea. And the 10 of Earth. All right, so that's all for today. I hope that this is a good transit for you. Stay grounded, go into nature if your mind goes all over the place, and take your time and think about your finances, and maybe learn about it. Maybe learn about money or investing, or also learn how to make your own your favorite dishes. This is a good time for that too. And so I hope this is a good transit for you. And also Mercury retrograde is just around the corner, so maybe incorporate some of these things into that transit too. So I hope this helps, and thank you for watching. Bye.